Step inside a doctor's office in 1890, and the first thing you notice is the aroma. There are no sharp, stinging scents of rubbing alcohol or sterile, white-tiled walls. Instead, the room smells of dried valerian root and peppermint spirits, with rows of hand-labeled tinctures waiting in amber glass jars. Modern medicine excels at acute trauma. If you break a leg or suffer a heart attack, you want the immediate, highly targeted power of a modern surgical intervention. Applying that same intensity to daily chronic issues, like stress or sluggish digestion, can be problematic. This heavy-handed approach often triggers a cascade of secondary side effects, and it contributes to massive global challenges like antibiotic resistance. The doctors of the late 19th century operated differently, relying on what they called a nudge. They approached the human body as an ecosystem to be balanced over time, rather than a broken machine to be fixed. For 5,000 years, humans co-evolved alongside the chemistry of the forest floor. Trading that botanical relationship for a purely synthetic one severed an intuitive connection to our own biology. If these traditional, earth-grown remedies worked for daily ailments, why did they disappear from the medical mainstream almost overnight in the 1920s? At the turn of the century, John D. Rockefeller saw an opportunity. Having built his fortune in oil, he realized that standardizing medical treatments around isolated chemicals, often derived from petroleum byproducts, could build a massive new industry. Through the 1910 Flexor Report, millions of dollars in grants were leveraged to overhaul medical education. Institutions were forced to drop their herbalism curriculum or face defunding and a label of quackery. This pivot was driven by a strict economic reality. You cannot put a patent on a living dandelion. To generate reliable profits, the new industry needed chemical structures they could legally own. Pharmaceutical companies began extracting single, isolated chemicals from plants and tweaking their structures in a lab to create proprietary wonder drugs. The sudden erasure of herbalism was a calculated consolidation of power, designed to create a patentable and highly profitable industry. The physicians of the late 1800s, known as eclectics, utilized the complex chemistry of whole plants. They believed that the surrounding natural compounds effectively buffered active ingredients to prevent severe side effects. Take mullein, a fuzzy leaf historically called Adam's flannel. Eclectic physicians used this as the primary treatment for deep lung congestion and a chronic cough condition they called phthisis. Modern biology confirms this mechanism. Mullein contains mucilage, a gelatinous fiber that physically coats and protects irritated mucous membranes. Simultaneously, compounds called saponins help break up stuck mucus in the lungs, acting as an expectorant. Consider elderberry, known in old texts as the countryman's apothecary. 19th century doctors used these berries to break fevers and act as a biological shield against winter illnesses. Modern clinical trials prove that elderberry compounds inhibit the neuraminidase enzyme. Neuraminidase is a specific enzyme that certain viruses use to puncture and spread between cells. By blocking those hooks, the berry stops the virus from replicating. Modern analysis is finally catching up to traditional wisdom, proving that these plants are evolved, multi-compound chemical defense systems. This botanical precision was applied to chronic digestive issues. For liver congestion and sluggish digestion, a condition then called biliousness, the standard prescription was dandelion root. Dandelion acts as a bitter tonic. When its bitter compounds hit the tongue, they trigger the vagus nerve, the primary neural communication pathway connecting the brain to the gut. This activation signals the liver and gallbladder to autonomously release natural bile and digestive enzymes. Botanical nudges train the body's innate systems to fix themselves, a distinct approach from synthetic antacids or laxatives that override natural functions. The goal is completeness, integrating the surgeon's scalpel for emergencies with the herbalist's daily remedies for resilience. Reclaiming health sovereignty doesn't require a laboratory. The standard tools of an 1890s apothecary are common kitchen items: amber glass, raw honey, and high-proof spirits. The process relies on simple friction. Using a mortar and pestle to bruise the plant helps break the cell walls, allowing your liquids to extract the medicinal compounds inside. You can begin with 3 accessible remedies: garlic honey for early infections, fresh ginger root for nausea, and peppermint for tension headaches. The modern pharmacy for emergencies might be miles away, but the original pharmacy for daily resilience has always been right outside your front door.